What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Good to see you on a Sunday evening. Usually we do our Photoshop class on Wednesday, but we had a double feature time for our AI class, and I said I would do a makeup class. So I'm going to go ahead and get everybody in the room here. If any of my Craft Equip members want to volunteer to be customer happiness and for tonight and let folks into the Zoom room, if you know how to do that, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat for me. And then I can make you a co-host so that you can let folks into the Zoom room. All right. So Sharon and Tracy, you ain't gonna try, you gonna do it, love. And then if you need any help, Sharon is there too. It's pretty simple. You just, it'll pop up on the screen when someone is in the waiting room, and then you'll just let them into the Zoom, okay? And speaking of which, let me go ahead and let everyone in right now. And Sharon, I am adding you as a co-host. And Tracy, I'm making you co-host as well. All right, now tonight's class, we are designing from scratch. All right. So I did, and I'm gonna check one more time because I didn't see any homework posted from AI class. So the idea, I'm gonna share the Facebook page with y'all. And anyone joining on the YouTube side, feel free to come to the Facebook page here and just comment the word PSD, and you'll actually, tonight only, you'll get access to the Zoom room and the design that or the template that I'm creating tonight. You will get the template that I build for the free 99. Just because I'm feeling good, and I feel very grateful that you all have been working with me through all of the randomness that's been going on. You all have been just so forgiving, so loving, so encouraging, and I'm here for it. I'm here for y'all. All right, so what I want to do here is get you all started building in Photoshop, but I'm going to let you pick slide number 1, slide number 2. Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll pick from 2 to 6 because I want to do a banner. And then what I'll do is I'll show you whichever banner we do. If I have time, I'll show you how to make it square so that you can use it for instance, Instagram and Facebook prefer the square or the portrait style versus the wide banner style. But I will show you how to create this from scratch as a template that you can go back and later change out all the elements and make it basically a 5-minute template. Oh, we are not, we have it going live on YouTube, but we're not recording in Zoom. So let me go ahead and record in Zoom. Very well. Y'all are amazing. Forward to the cloud. Love that we have this built-in customer happiness. All right. Oh, and let me switch account to this one. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Now I want to pin a message to the top here. All right, now I am talking and communicating directly with the folks in the Zoom room. So if you just happen to be on the YouTube side, it's okay. But the place that you want to be is in the Zoom room, because then I can see your comments. And typically during classes, if we're doing a walkthrough template, then you can share your screen, and that's how we're able to get a lot of success from folks in the Photoshop. Okay, so if you're watching us on the YouTube side, feel free to go to that Facebook post, comment PSD as in Photoshop, and you'll get the Zoom link. And this, I do not ever do this, but you'll get free access to the Zoom link for tonight. All right, my loves. So this is what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to vote. It's either going to be 2. This is number 2. This is graphic number 3. Graphic number 4. And don't vote just yet, because I'm going to go through and explain some things. Graphic number 5 and graphic number 6. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain some things, because the idea is you're probably going to want to have all 5 of these. The reason why I say that is because this one is like a campaign that shows off all your products. Imagine doing your Automizer, getting your output of your products, and creating this whole galaxy theme, right? That could be a template so that whenever you change out the subject, it also changes out the images here. And that could even be how you present your mock-ups to your customers. Think about that. All right, that could be a very compelling way to present it. Second, this is more of a banner that shows off how your customers can save. You want to encourage them to add a bigger cart. And what better way to do that than to show them that they can save more money, get a bigger percentage off if they order more product. Okay, so this is a graphic that shows that off. And let me see here. I think I have 2 of these on here. And I do. Get rid of that one. Right? Same deal here. The only difference is this one just has a darker background. This one has a lighter background. This one has the flat cards that have a little bit of raised, more like a bevel and embossed look. This one, these cards have a 3D look. And if you were in AI class on Thursday, then we created all of these graphics in AI. So what I'm doing today is I'm showing you there's a reason why I still create and I still sell templates. AI is amazing, but if you want to generate consistent results, then I want to have a template that I can go in, I can change the colors, I can change the subject, I can change the school, I can go from graduation to a birthday party to football, right? That's what the templates are for. And although in AI, you can tell it to mimic a flyer that you already made, it is almost guaranteed it will not be the same. Almost guaranteed. So that's where templates really, really come into play. All right, and tonight I'm going to be showing you how to build one of these from scratch. I like this idea of the tiered. I will build it my own way. But this also gives a visual demonstration of how buying more, you can save more. And then finally, I think we all need a graphic that tells people, hey, I'm going to make this easy for you. All you have to do is upload your information once, and we create an entire collection for you. And why not? You got the Automizer, right? Most of you all have the Automizer. Or you have a way of mocking up several different products. So you tell them, hey, upload your graduate information, which consists of a photo, a logo, name and graduation year, and the school colors. Boom, we designed everything. Look how it even used the elements from my graphics, even inside of this arrow. The text is simple, the text is clean, the background is clean. And to be honest with you, you don't want things to be super heavy because you want this to stand out and to be clear. So all of these graphics, I feel like this is a presentation of a collection. These 2 are showing buy more, save more. those two. This one's saying buy more, save more, but it's showing this whole platform and tiered effect, which I like that. And this one is showing, hey, this is our design process. It's super simple. All you have to do is give us a tiny bit of information and we design all your products for you, right? So I have something special from our Craft to Quit members. If I see your homework tonight, if I don't see homework, I'm not doing no extra work. If y'all not doing no extra work. So my Craft to Quit members, I'm going to build from scratch tonight one of these. If I see you all presenting your version of them as homework on the Facebook business page, then I will create the other two. Well, technically three. So you'll have 3 graphics. All right, so here's the deal. You're going to tell me which one you want to create tonight. Now is where you vote. Inside of the Zoom room, I'm looking for your numbers. This is 2. This is 3. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Let me zoom in a little bit so I can see what I'm showing. So let's go back. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4, 5, and 6. Which style graphic do you need the most right now for your Shopify page, for your email graphics? Because I'm going to show you how to use it for all of that. You know what? I got to tell my brother this because he was saying we need this graphic ASAP Rocky. Graphic number 6, he says you need something that shows people that all they have to do is upload a couple of things and you're going to take care of the rest. And y'all are confirming that tonight because everybody's saying 6. Y'all all need this, huh? Cool. All right, so let's design 6 then. All right, I got my question answered. Awesome. Now, what I'm going to build off of, I'm going to build off of the, remember 344? We took our images and we made them different sizes so that we can use them for social media, for our Shopify store, for banners, to animate videos, all of that. And here's a tip too, if you're animating videos, you want to use a 1920 by 1080 if you're doing the full screen, like a TV screen. And if you're doing animating a video for the cell phones, you want to do the 1080 by 1920, the tall. All right, and then if you're animating for that, then you also want to make sure that you don't have anything like her arm is clipped off here. You don't want to have that clipped off. You want to kind of zoom out a little bit and have the full image so you can always crop in to it. All right, so this is where I'm going to start from because I'm going to build my banner off of this 1920 by 1080. And if you need to know how to build these artboards, then go back to that class number 344, okay? Actually, I think it was 343 where we built the artboards from scratch, and 344 where we started resizing and showing how you can use resize graphics. Now, I'm also going to be cheating just a little bit and saying, if I'm already going to design a banner, I want to make sure that this banner can also work for my Facebook cover. So it'll work for the Facebook cover, it'll work as a banner for Shopify, and then it will also work as a full screen presentation as a hero image, if you want to have a hero image of this as well. Hi, Sabrina. We have a newbie in the room. Hey, Gary. All right. Okay, well, I'm glad to see y'all in the Zoom room. All right, so, and Lisa, yes, class tonight, go ahead and join us. You're already a member, so you can join us on our Photoshop class. I believe it's 345. All right, and we're going to be building from scratch. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a save as and save this as 345. Just so I don't forget. All right, and although we created these beautiful images in AI, there's still some work to be done here. So I believe this is our graphic that we want. I'm just going to drag and drop it onto this artboard. And look how it just perfectly fits. I didn't even know it was going to do that. It pretty much perfectly fits as a Facebook banner. So get this, when we create this image tonight, you all will have the template you can use mine as is, of course, because all of the graphics that I create, I want you to be able to market with them, okay? That's my goal. But you can also flip it out, change it to your school colors. I definitely want you to market locally because that's going to capture someone's eye that is already in your Facebook feed, okay? That's the whole point. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus just on this 1920 by 1080 artboard. So for right now, I'm going to close all my other artboards and just turn the eyeballs off one. And if I want to zoom into just this one here, I'm going to hold down Alt, then I'm going to click, and it zooms into just that one. Oh, thank you, Gary. Gary says, Coach, you're the best. Thank you for all you've done for me. Y'all are in good hands, everyone. I appreciate that, Gary. All right, so let's get to doing some design from scratch tonight. And typically I don't really show you all the design from scratch processes, but you all have seemed to really like that. I thought y'all didn't like it because it takes a lot of time. And the whole point of me making these 5-minute templates is so that you can have my 25 plus years of Photoshop experience in a 5-minute template flip. But I think you like the challenge. So at the very least, I'm going to show you how I design everything from scratch. And for those who are enrolled in the class, I will upload the template and you will have a 5-minute template of this too. Is that a deal? Oh, gee, okay, that's you. What's up? No, I did not know that was you, G. Hey, my love. It's been a little minute. I'm glad to see you. Okay. And y'all too, I'm making my way back. I know I haven't really posted. It looks like since December, y'all. I'm slacking on my marketing. I've been teaching classes, but I haven't been marketing. So I need y'all's help and I'll tell y'all how y'all are gonna help me. My birthday is April Fool's Day. So remind me to ask you all. Matter of fact, y'all can put it in the chat now. What do you all want to see? Because you know I always spend my birthday with y'all. Are there any deals that y'all want to see? Is there anything that you want to have me teach? Is there anything that you want to see a special on? Let me know. Now I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about before I get into this design class for tonight. I'm thinking about having an extravaganza, not on Wednesday. Wednesday we'll do a class, we'll do something together because that is my actual April Fool's birthday. But remember where we said we wanted to have that 24/7 Zoom room where we could help one another out and do designs together? Thinking about doing that. All right, and giving it a test run, probably on Saturday or Sunday, this upcoming Saturday or Sunday. So if y'all think y'all might want to do that, let me know and I'll arrange it. Okay. Sounds good. Oh, it's your retirement. Ernie, you retiring on April Fools. You sure about that? I love that. I love that. And Ernie, too, let me know because I'm going to be liquidating some of my equipment. I know you're in the Jacksonville area. So after this graduation season, I'm going to actually be doing some production. And let me know if you're interested in any of that stuff. Okay. I just thought about that while I saw your name. And I know you've been getting back into the groove of things too. And you can even, if you want to do some print work and some on-the-job training for graduation season, I may even be able to arrange that. You interested too, Deshant? Okay, so y'all remind me because I need to, I need to make some shifts and changes. All right. I'll let y'all know about that later. Okay, so let's get on to designing tonight. All right, first I'm going to go ahead and turn off this graphic here. I have my base guidelines and I'm going to go ahead and draw some more guidelines here. Just because this is visible on mobile, this is not visible on mobile. I'm just giving myself the absolute best space here so I can turn this off. And I can even turn this off now, and I see that I have guidelines here. All right, and within this area is, primarily what we're gonna see, and of course, we can use some of our elements there. So what I wanna do first is I'm gonna go to, my Automizer whole PNG folder. Got my red grad. Now I do have some products already here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. And some of the products that we've been using, go to this one here. Yeah, I have more products here. Some of the products that we're using here are pretty universal for everyone. Let me know in the chat if it's something that you think is more important. And here's what I'm going to explain to you why AI didn't do the greatest job either. Look how it changed the proportion of my yard sign. You see how it has the stakes there, but then it looks weirdest in the square? That's not right. But I do like how it put like the shadows and that sort of thing on my graphics because it does look better that way. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the products that I know are highest converting. And then also when you flip the template or you build your own, then let's say if you don't do cupcake toppers, you don't provide those. If you don't do water bottles, you don't provide those. But the idea here is I want to show that we can do the graduation products. I'll probably even put a backdrop in here because that's important for me. Because that's one of the easiest ways to make money is to design something and never have to touch it. And that backdrop is a drop ship item. You do not have to make that backdrop. Now these party favors are a little more tedious. I typically don't even offer them, but I made for graduation season just because I feel like it is a good way to have some add-ons there, okay? And basically show your clients that you are a one-stop shop. All right, so just looking here, let me find what I need. I'm gonna pull over to my other screen so that's not distracting for y'all. And thank you, my honorary customer happiness, for letting everybody into the Zoom room. All right, so I'm gonna first look up the shirt. And I'm just looking for my quick little PNGs here. So what I want to do is I want to show off my all over shirt and probably that DTF shirt too. I don't have to show every single option that I have here. This is a quick flyer. We don't want to be overwhelming here. Now, another thing that I can do is, for instance, for the DTF shirt, maybe I can show off this design here, which is on the back versus the front, and I can show off that sublimation shirt there. I'm just gonna drag and drop them onto the artboard. I'm just building right now. And you see how I had to press enter each time? Let me change some settings here. Make sure that I have my settings. Let me get my workspace right. Dr. Shannon, and then let me get my preferences together. So I did update my Photoshop, resize the image during place. Skip transform when placing. I just wanted to go ahead and just place them. There we go. Make sure I crank my performance up to about 90 here. And I'm going to choose the optimize the cache. It's the huge pixel dimensions here. And for my remove background, I want to use the cloud so that I get a cleaner background removal. The scratch just looking kind of low, y'all, because I've been doing a lot of work on this computer remotely. I've been putting this little laptop to full use. And I do need to clean some things off my hard drive. All right, for the plugins, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna enable my generator, even though we're not using it right now. I'm just going over some of the settings that I do change on my Photoshop preferences side. Something else I want to change. All right, I want to auto save every 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes. I do not want to ask before saving my layered TIFF files. I don't want to prefer camera raw. I want to take that off. I hate when it opens up the camera raw instead because we don't really use that. My quick export format, because we will be using quick export, I'm going to keep it on PNG because if it has transparency, great, it preserves its transparency. And if it doesn't, it's not going to hurt it to be a PNG. And I do like if it asks me where to export each time because I hate when it just automatically goes somewhere and I forget where I last saved it. So I do ask for it to ask where to export each and every time. And you can even change the quick export metadata if you want to put your copyright and contact information. You can put that on there as well. And as far as export location, it can go to the current document location or to the last folder. I tell it to go to the last folder because oftentimes I'm putting it in its own special folder whenever I'm exporting those PNGs. All right, and I think, I know I'm probably missing one thing that I do set up. I can't think of it at the moment, but if I need it, I'll come back here and set it up. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit okay. Now, just because I am making some changes, I'm going to check my panel options here. Everything is proper there. Perfect. I'm gonna save and then I'm gonna close out because when I drag and drop a lot of images in, I don't like to hit enter for each and every one. So let me see if it works now. If it doesn't, then what I'll do is I'll restart Photoshop. So I have my shirt now. And we said we were going to do the stole. And I'm just inside of my output for my Automizer. And I'm just grabbing these products. There's the stole. What else I need? A yard sign because you all were definitely doing the yard sign. And y'all, Amazon is catching up to us, y'all. There's people doing custom stuff on Amazon. I told you I was coming about 3 years ago. I said Amazon has not taken over the graduation custom market yet, but it's on the way. It sees how much y'all are making every graduation season, and your biggest competitor is going to be some generic designer on Amazon. Just like Etsy is coming for you. Just letting you know. No pressure, but pressure. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's do yard signs, stole, t-shirt. Those are your staple items. Some of you all are doing the buttons and the fans, so I'm going to do, and you all told me that you're doing the pin back button with the clear cover versus the sublimation one, so I'm going to choose that one just to make this something that you all can use, ready to go. The water bottle label, if you are doing treats, definitely do your water bottle. And chip bags are the second most popular item for party favors. So grab your chip bag. And let's see here, cupcake, might as well, at least it draws attention, even if you don't make cupcake toppers. Let's go ahead and get our cupcake. And definitely the fan. And the big head fans are definitely selling for graduation season. So if you want to do a contour style fan, you could absolutely do that. You may just want to stick with the standard rectangle fan because everybody's design is going to fit in that. All right, I'm going to stick with the standard. Now I should have all of the main products. Oh, I wanted to do backdrops for mine. I think everybody can do backdrops as long as you know how to format your large graphics. And if you've been working with me, you know how to format your large graphics. All right, let's grab that backdrop there. Boom. All right. So now I'm going to take all of these products. I'm just going to go ahead and select the bottom, hold down Shift, select the top, do Control G, which groups. All right, and then we're going to take this and just call this our products. And then as I have the whole group, I'm going to bring the sizes down. So it makes it easier for me to identify what to move and where. Now, here's what you may want to do. If you like the idea of these shirts being on a hanger, you can absolutely go ahead and convert those with AI. And I'll show you if I end up doing that, okay? And I probably will, just to show off a little bit. All right, so right now I'm going to bring this opacity down. And then I'm going to create just a fresh white backdrop here. So I'm going to create a new adjustment layer. Go to solid color. And I'm just going to choose fresh white. All right, I'll turn off the orange for now. So I know I have my product area. Looks like I have an arrow here. And I can either build this arrow or I can find an arrow online. Looks like we have some icons here that we need. And those icons need to be recolored so that they go with your theme. All right, and then we have some simple text here that we can add as well. So let's just go ahead and start building these components out. I'm going to do my rectangle tool here. And I'm going to build this rectangle, just kind of arbitrarily. You don't have to be the exact size. All right, so I have a rectangle there. This rectangle, the fill is going to be white. It's going to have no outline on it, no stroke. So I'm going to go to the image that has the red crossed out color there. All right, now I'm going to add a drop shadow here just so you can see what it does next. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this shadow so you can see. Did you know you can pull your shadows out like that? And it looks like the shadow kind of goes this way a little bit. I'm going to increase the spread and the size so it's a little bit softer. I can increase the distance as well so it pops out. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now notice that my rectangle has very hard edges. If I come to this little circle here, this is going to round it. And I can choose a number that I want to round it. If you look over here to the right-hand side for appearance, I can round it, like I can type in 30. And see how I change all of my rounds to 30 pixels. And now you just created a rounded rectangle. Okay, now I want to make sure that all of this stuff is on top of my graphic. So as I'm building, I'm pretty much replacing some elements. All right, and like I said, I'm showing you all my steps to building from scratch. So if you have any tumblers, you want to add tumblers on there? Okay. Tumbler, and then what I'll do, I'll put the 3-part tumbler on there and I'll probably hide it to where we just have that one in the center. And I'm just going to decrease the size there so that it is comparable to my other products here. Drop that inside my products folder and we'll sort those products out in just a moment. All right, so I have my rounded rectangle here. Now I need this arrow. So I can go find an arrow or I can pretty much build one. So let's build an arrow. let's build it with the pen tool. The pen tool that y'all are so afraid of. All right, I'm gonna start here, tap, hold down shift so I get an exact straight line, shift. And what I'm gonna do is, oh, you know what, duh, Deidre. Let me create a rectangle first. Boom. And for this one, we're just gonna do a plain little, let's do a black rectangle. Let's change the fill color so I can see what I'm doing here, since I have a white background. And for the triangle, there's a triangle tool. So here's how that kind of happens. And what I'll do is I'll rotate my triangle, hold down shift so I get those perfect 90-degree and 45-degree angles. I want to make another triangle. Go to my move tool, move my triangle. And then what I want is I want the triangle and the rectangle to be perfectly aligned through the center. So I'm going to choose align vertical centers. And it just happened to be like that. You know, perfection just happened to happen. All right, now I can take these two here. I can merge these shapes, y'all. Merge the shapes. Now I have me a little arrow. Okay. So far, is this helpful to see this built from scratch? Do y'all like this? Because I'm going off the top of the dome. I did not this is one thing about me that I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna pre-do a class that I'm showing you from scratch. Pretty much because I want you to see what I do in real time. I want you to see how my brain works in real time. And I want you to see how long it really does take me to do things and how much time it saves you when I do create a template for you. That way you have my full process if you want to learn to design from scratch. And you have the template if you want to say, nah, I'm straight. Let me get that 5-minute template. Okay. All right. And Sabrina, the replay is immediately available on YouTube if you need to do a quick little, rewind and put it at 2.0 speed to catch it up. And I also will have this on the back end of the class. You'll have the recording there, okay? So let me give you all this YouTube link inside the Zoom room, just in case y'all want to be like, man, I don't want to wait for you to upload this. I want that immediate access. Okay, here's the YouTube link. All right, and I'll put it on the back end of the class. Hold on just a second, y'all. Put it in the back end. Let me, video. I'm just gonna add it here. That's just temporary Zoom. Or maybe I'm not. Hold on, it won't let me do it. This is why customer happiness usually keeps me on point. Let me leave there. And for the video, boom, add a lesson. Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to put a title and then the link. So here is the instant YouTube replay. I'm putting this on the back end of the 345 class, y'all. So if you're in the Zoom room, then you know where this is. Boom. Oh, you know what? Customer happiness is so good to me. They already had a little link for that. That's beautiful. That's Hannah. Holding it down. She's not here with us on this Sunday, though. Get rid of that one. Boom, put that little link there. Y'all got it. Okay, let me get back to design now. I was giving y'all the little instant link so then y'all wouldn't be like, well, you said, y'all know how y'all be. All right, so we have our products here. we have our arrow, we have our box, we have a little bit of text here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a text box instead of just randomly typing text, because I want to make sure that my text pretty much stays in this area. And then I'm going to type here one, upload. Because another thing AI will do is AI will mess up your spelling and maybe even say something you don't want it to say. One, upload, and then let's do a complete graduation collection. Plus, if this is a template, you want to be able to go into that text and change it to be anything you want it to be. Now I'm going to move it a little bit below the existing text, just so I can see if I can get a font similar to that. I'm thinking, what am I thinking I want to use for this one? Montserrat. Montserrat, maybe Montserrat bold. Extra bold looks exactly like the font. Okay, Montserrat is one of my favorite fonts that everybody gets that font for free, and it's super clean and it works for so many different things. Yep, upload is not spelled. So let me show you that we have spell check. I did that on purpose, y'all. Wink, wink. Let me show you that you have spell check inside of Photoshop. Let's go to edit. Let's go to check spelling. And look, it found my little upload there. And then we can hit change. It'll change that. Don't show again. Okay, so it's complete. All right. And then I'm just going to leave a little space here so that I can put a little arrow or something there. But that looks good. Now, I don't have to retype this and make another little text box. I'm going to alt click and drag this up here. Double click on the text. See if I can spell upload right this time. Upload once, boom. We create the collection. And then there's some subtext here. So I'm going to alt click and drag down here. And of course, this text is much smaller. So I'm going to change the point size there. 24 is a little too small. Let's go 36. That looks about right. And instead of extra bold, I'm going to change it to medium. That looks about right. Double click on the text so I can type. One, design, automatically applied to all your graduation products. Now, if you're wondering where these words and stuff came from, that came from AI 111 class. So you're going to have to go back and watch that one because we're not going to redo that stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this little text box here so that it does not go past this area here. And that might mean that I need to Control A, select it all, and maybe go down to 32 points. Maybe even 28 points. So 32 is a little too small, middle 34, boom, looks perfect. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this on top of where that was. And y'all, I did not, like I said, this is all off the top of the dome. Like I am just doing whatever comes naturally and freely to me, and then I'm just showing you what I would do. And guess what? When I'm by myself, I talk just like this. Anytime I create something, ever since I was a little girl, I would do it as if I was explaining it like I had a cooking show. Y'all hear me? Now let me show you the difference here. If I'm in this box editing mode and I make the box smaller, the text size does not change, but it will run onto the next line. All right, so what I'm going to show you is I don't want that to happen. I want to keep this, but once I accept the text size and it's no longer those dashed lines around it, then when I resize it, it resizes as an entire piece. All right, so there we go. And whenever y'all learn something new, let me know what the new thing is that you just learned. You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, I didn't know how to use text boxes. I did, because it helps me to know what you're learning. So sometimes I don't realize that I may fly over certain things that I think are simple. And it's like, well, dang, shit, I've been trying to learn how to make an arrow with a triangle and a rectangle for 3 years now. You ain't never showed me that. I didn't know we could use shapes in Photoshop. Tell me so that I understand that these are things we can build into our courses. Okay. All right, all right. All right, so my triangle is going to go underneath the rectangle here, right? Let me turn it off for a second. We don't have any drop shadow or anything here, but we could add it if we wanted to. We can actually right click, copy the layer style from this rounded rectangle, paste the layer style on our arrow, and now our arrow has a little drop shadow, just like the rounded rectangle does. You see where we're going with this? We're building, y'all. All right, we have our text. I'm gonna just go ahead and place the text pretty much in place. This is just to get it in place. We're gonna tweak it how we want it in just a bit. Now let's go ahead and take our products. Look, AI done already laid it out for us. We really don't have to reinvent the wheel. Do you hear me? So let's take this water bottle. I'm just gonna loosely place it. We got a chip bag there. Our button, I think it was over here somewhere. Cupcake is over there. Yard sign, or that's supposed to be a yard sign right there. Supposed to be. The stole over here. And the black shirt right here. All over shirt right here. That, I think we added a few additional products. We have a tumbler. Let's say the tumbler can go right about here. And then what we'll do is we'll crop off what we don't want to see here. And I'm going to zoom in, Control plus a couple times so I can pay attention to my pieces here. This fan, I'm probably even going to kind of rotate it a little bit. Right now, I'm just going to place it. Yeah, I'll probably place it here and rotate it. And that backdrop is important for me because I really want people to know that these backdrops can really set off an event, and I make money without even having to touch the product. So it's a great product. Now I have to worry about the order. So I want this backdrop to be behind everything major because it's so large. Let's start resizing some things. Now I can go to auto select. Auto select means that when I touch on something, it's going to assume what I am touching. Now, I do not like auto select when I have a whole bunch of layers, but when I have a bunch of individual pieces, this is actually very helpful. Now, how many of you all are doing the clack fans? If you're doing the clack fans, put a 1 in the chat. Let me see. And I'm going to leave, I know the button is technically smaller, but I'm going to leave it a little bit larger just so it gets that attention. So the scale factor will be a little bit off, but I need it to stand out. Yard sign. And y'all, AI really helped me do this layout pretty easily. So y'all are doing the clack fan. All right, I'll add it on here. I guess it's in the Automizer, so it's not like it's that hard for me to do this. All right, let's add the fan here. And then it's something that you don't add. I'm making this a template, just turn it off if you don't need it. And the beautiful thing is that all of these products pretty much have the same design. So even if I am clipping off a little bit of design, you still get the idea. Now for this tumbler here, what I want to do, I don't want to delete anything about it. What I want to do is I just want to mask it off so that when I replace this image later, let me use, let's use the polygon lasso tool. So later on, when I come in and I change this out to my blue grad or to my party, birthday versus graduation, everything still stays the same size. And technically, I can just change out the smart objects. So now I have this little area in the middle selected. I'm going to create the layer mask. Boom. And you see it didn't quite clean it up here. So I'm going to get a little bit closer to cleaning that up. And as I'm on this layer, I'm going to hit delete. And because I was on the layer mask and not on the product, when I hit delete, it did not delete any pixels. It just put black in that area because black conceals and white reveals. That's why only the middle part of this is revealed right now. All right, that looks good. Let's go Control-0 just to zoom out. See what we're working with. Alt. And then I'm going to get just to this artboard, y'all. So I hit Alt and then I clicked on the artboard name. Most of you all, when you're designing from scratch, you're not going to be designing from artboards. You're going to just have a canvas that you opened to create this. And just so you know, I can do a new document, make it 1920 by 1080, resolution of 72. White background. I like to have a transparent background. I use sRGB or working RGB, which is sRGB. Square pixels, create. So if you didn't already have the artboards, you would do that step first, and then you would bring all the elements in like I just showed you. So I'm just skipping that step because I am going to show you how to resize this and build on the last 2 weeks classes. All right, y'all good? All right, that just blew your mind? Awesome, look, tell me something good. All right, let's see here. Now our products do need to be organized a little bit better here. So I'm gonna turn off this image just for a moment. And then I'm gonna paste the layer style on these products just to get a little drop shadow on them, just so I can see what they're doing. Now, if we wanna get fancy, then we can take these products and bring them back in the AI and say, hey, you know, make sure that this looks like these two shirts. Oh, how about I just show you? I can show you better than I can tell you, can I? And so these shirts that are floating, if we wanted to put them on hangers, let's show you a shortcut. Why not? Even though this is Photoshop class and not AI class, I can still give you a little AI scoop. Close out of some of these extra windows. All right, so let's go to fix field. All right, go to our grad 3 profile here. And then that way, why is this only showing these couple of little products? It's supposed to have. Let me go back. I have almost 1,000 images in here. It's tripping. All right, so let's see. I'm looking for. I'll tell you what, we just do this real quick. We don't need a prompt to do this. All right, so I'm going to tell it to create a ghosted mock-up of this shirt on a light wooden hanger. You remember I did a whole Photoshop class where we did the lockers and we put the shirts on the hangers and stuff? Yeah, let me just show you how we use AI to do that. And all right, so we'll do the all over shirt. Let it upload fully. And then let me tell it to light gray, minimalist background. And we'll tell it that this is for a product. photo shoot. D, we don't, and that is what I want to do for one of our Wednesday classes. I want to do a mini Automizer class. So let me know if that's if it's of. I'll tell you what, I can do it of this design and then we can flip it. Let's see how we're going to do that. Oh, also, let me make sure too here, I want to change the ratio to 1:1. I want to use Nano Banana Pro, but I need the ratio to be 1:1. So let me regenerate because I don't want it to be wide there. Okay, look, I told y'all, tell me what y'all want. My birthday is Wednesday. So y'all know for my birthday, I give to you all. I make the biggest deals of the year. I listen to you all, let y'all negotiate your own rates. So if that sounds good to you, let me know what you need. Y'all need an ultimate graduation Automizer? Let me know. All right, so see how I did it there? Gave me, now I want to see the hook of the hanger. Let me specify that. Show the hook of the hanger. The metal hook. And I'm going to say silver. That way I'm being very specific. Let's do that one more again. And then while it's doing that, I can take off that shirt and go ahead and get this one done. That'll be my DTF one. But you finally got Hicksville, Sharon? Awesome. Well, it's pretty much, we've been using Hicksville in place of, anytime we do Nano Banana, I've been using Hicksville. All right, that's perfect. That's just what we need right there. Beautiful. Now let me go ahead and generate this one. And you can even use Hicksville for some of the older classes where I was just teaching Nano Banana straight up. You can still use your Hicksville for that. And even the old classes where I was showing you all cling and I was showing you how to animate videos, that's inside of Hicksville as well. So you don't have to go buy a cling subscription anymore or buy a VO subscription. It's all inside of this Hicksville. So I'm thinking for my birthday, an ultimate graduation Automizer might be a good thing to do. And for my birthday create-a-thon, because why not work? You know, as creatives, our playtime is actually work. It's weird, but it's just life, okay? So what I'm thinking is I want to have you all each, do a different template. I want to challenge you all. If I give you all the same red grad information, and I want each of you to do a different template. Like nobody can do the same template. Like somebody can do, 327, somebody else can do 101, doesn't matter. The challenge is you're going to pick a template and then you're going to flip it to the red grad. Everybody's going to do a different template. And then I just want to see what the results are. What do y'all think about that? And we'll do it live inside of the Zoom room, and it'll kind of be like a little Hollywood Squares kind of deal. And then that way, if anybody needs help, I can just click on your square and help you. If you got it going on, and I can show you off. So I'm thinking we'll do that next. Would y'all rather do Saturday or Sunday? Which day is better for you all to spend time with me? because it's gonna be some time, y'all. When we do a Sunday is better, Saturday is better. Let me know, y'all. Majority rules, so speak up. All right, so this one's good. I'm gonna go ahead and download that one. But do you see how I just use AI? I didn't have to go find a template. I didn't have to make this super complicated. But now that just rearranged how my shirt is floating. Instead of the 3D floating, it's floating on the hanger. And you don't have to do the hanger. You just do a ghosted image. How about this? Boom, ghosted image. Watch this. If you don't like the hanger idea, check this out. And I can take this prompt right here, copy it, grab that one, tell it that I want to reuse that. Just tell it do a ghosted image and don't say anything about a hanger. Y'all, ghosted images are really, really popular right now. And animating a ghosted image. Oh, I don't even want to get on that. We're not going to get on that tonight. But you can take that image, you can make it rotate 360 degrees. Now, of course, it doesn't know what you want on the back of the shirt. So maybe that's not a good idea. Or you can just have the shirt kind of like walking by itself, ghosted, and that gets attention. Now it's truly odd. It must understand the layers that I have in Photoshop because I never told it that shirt was white. Do y'all see how it just flipped it to white just that quick? And maybe when I said a light gray background, I was thinking about the color of the shirt. But I mean, I pretty much already provided the ghosted image, but see, that's the ghosted image. And it may even have more detail to it. But that's pretty much ready to go. I like the hangers, so I'm gonna rock with the hangers for tonight, okay? All right, so now what I'm gonna do is come on back here. Just because I wanna keep my my product labels the same, I'm gonna go into this shirt here. Go ahead and grab. Oh, nope, it'll be in my downloads here. Drop it like it's hot. Go ahead and tell it to remove the background. Why am I gonna do all that hard work and I ain't got to? Now I do feel like it removed a little bit too much here, but because this is being done quickly. Now this is a PNG, it cannot have the layer underneath it. So I have to get rid of that layer underneath. Make sure that my product is not hanging off, but I am gonna get it as big as possible. Do Control S to save, Control W, close out of the window. Okay, and now I have my shirt on the hanger there instead. All right, and that's up to you if you wanted to use that one. I just wanted to show you how I use AI to enhance my process, my design process. Remove the background there. Now I don't know what's going on. I'm not reading the comments on the YouTube side, y'all, because everybody's in the Zoom room with me. So y'all like this Sunday? Okay. Hey, Nikita, the great fit. I remember you, my love, and I see you. You are on your stuff. You are on your stuff. You're on your marketing. You're constantly posting. I just want to let you know that I see you, love. And you're doing a wonderful job. Come on over to the Zoom room. If you go to the Facebook page, here, I'll bring it up real quick. I put the link on the YouTube side. Go to the Facebook page. And I made tonight's class free. So you can actually get into the Zoom room for free. If you just comment PSD underneath this post, it'll give you the link to the class and the whole class should be free. If it's not free, y'all let me know because that means I didn't do something right. Okay. All right. right, so boom, and then this could actually be cleaned up a little bit better, but I'm gonna not worry about perfection right now. I'm just gonna get it done. There we are. Oops, I gotta get rid of the layer underneath in order to save it as a PNG. Why? Because a PNG can only have one layer. Control S to save, Control W to close out of that window. Now let me do Control D to deselect any little marching ants there. And now it's up to me to do a little bit better arranging here. And I want to put my all over shirt on top of the black shirt. Take my fan here, and this is where I start resizing and rotating. Now keep in mind that as long as I'm using my Automizer, whenever I change my design up, I just pretty much change out these smart objects. That's the beauty of building a template. All right, so I got this yard sign here. Boom. And sometimes I add little details that make you understand what that is. Like I might even put like a little bit of grass underneath there just to know that that's a yard sign. But for now, I'm gonna keep it clean. For the chip bag, I'm just going to show the front. Ooh, I'll show you what AI just did. Why not? Why not? Okay, so boom, this is what we'll do. Just like we just created a layer mask to hide part of the chip, part of the tumbler, I'm gonna hide part of the chip bag. So here, I'm gonna create a layer mask that just gives me the front of the chips. I'm gonna duplicate this whole layer. Boom, I have 2 chips. Then I'm going to Control I and invert the layer mask of the chip bag for the back. And then just like the AI image did, I'm gonna move this out of the way. And of course, it's got the auto select more. So I'm gonna pull this one down, and it had the nutrition facts just barely visible there. And it was behind it. And if I wanna check it out, I'm gonna turn off my products folder for now. You see how I had one behind the other? I can rock it like that. All right, so, and that's the beautiful thing about having the Automizer, because it does mock up your products and it gives you the printables. So you have real time, real designed products. All right, and then for the water bottles, like that there, cupcake, I think we're good on all of those other pieces. And if I really, really wanted to, I could take all of these products and kind of loosely lay them out, and then I could tell AI to, put these in a scene together with a, clean white background and just add appropriate drop shadows. However, I'm not gonna get into that tonight. I'm just laying out as best I know how, and this gives me the opportunity to templatize this process. So let me bring the fan down here for the fan behind the chips. But I need to see that it's a fan, so I kind of need to see that paddle a little bit. All right, and then let's take the stole here. Bring the stole over on this side so it gets a little more attention. And it's all because I wanted to see that banner there, or that backdrop. Which, like I said, for me, screams party, so I definitely want to show that off. And I think I'll make this fan just a tad bit smaller so you can see the stick there. And so that it doesn't overlap the stole too much. But I like my stuff touching. I like things looking layered and on top of one another, because it makes me feel like it's really in the picture together. Water bottle, let's put that all the way to the top. A little bit smaller. And where's my cupcake? There's my cupcake. And my cupcake was kind of in front of my chip bag a little bit. All right, now, if I did ask AI to better lay these out, what I may end up with is like a little bit lower resolution of my graphics. But if I wanted to do that, I can take all my products here. Remember I told y'all the quick export is PNG. You could do that. And I'm just gonna download it there just so we can see how this may work out, or it may not work out. Y'all, told y'all I'm doing this on the fly, but I'm showing you what I really do on the fly, like all the time. All right, so I want you to, let's see. Create realistic shadows and for these products in a single display. And you can, I'm thinking it can change perspective, and rotate products to give a realistic view. Now, I don't know if that's the prompt that I want, but just like I showed you all in AI class this week, I use AI for my AI. So if I needed to, I would go to ChatGPT and go to my, you can use the custom print marketing expert. You can also use, that's what we use, the custom print marketing expert. So I'll go back and use that. I'm on, need to go back to my personal account. So I'm gonna go ahead and generate this with my own words. And then I'll come to the project we were working on for the graduation collection ideas. And I would just say, optimize this prompt. Paste the prompt there. And then I also go ahead and drop in the image just so that it knows what I'm doing. Well, move it over just a little bit. All right, look at that. Kind of cool, huh? Kind of gave it different angles and perspectives. I think I actually like my layout better, but look how it did with the shadows. And I can also tell it to resize. And resize. Rotate, change perspective, resize, and rotate products to give a realistic view. Let's generate that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I'm telling it to do it. I want to optimize the prompts. Now, look, ChatGPT is getting jealous and wanting to create some images right now. And then I'll still drag and drop that image on there. Okay, ChatGPT may be cooking up something kind of good. I see it working. All right, now we'll tell you this. The more products that you put in the mix, it does kind of get confused. So although I like, see how it changed the angle of my backdrop here? I really like that. I like that it put the shadows on there. I don't like how the shirt is here. So I don't like how it gave me 2 yard signs. And you know what's cool is it took the design that I gave it in an older design, and it kind of gave me both yard signs, which is kind of cool because now it is 2 different yard signs, not the same exact one. I'm actually okay with that. It may possibly be missing one. I just don't like how my shirts are laying on the floor here, and then I'm losing the emphasis on that stole there. So I'm going to generate it one more time there. And oh, look at ChatGPT in the mix. Now I'm liking that. It added some other stuff that I didn't ask it for, like this little confetti stuff here. But it's okay, but it changed my faces too much. But that's really cool. I like that. But I wanted to optimize the prompt, so that's what I'm going to tell it to do right now. Just try to get in there because it sees that I'm using other resources more. Oh, it is Easter this Sunday. Oh, yeah. I, Easter. I don't know why I thought it was the week after. Man, this month is gone. April is here already, pretty much. So if it's on Easter, y'all still want to work on Easter? Let me know. Let me know something. I was gonna say we could do Saturday this weekend. Then maybe we'll do Sunday another time. Because I do feel like I'm not gonna lie. Sundays feel like my easier kind of creative days. Helps me get into my Monday work mode, but still be energetic about doing some work. Yeah, and plus I think everybody's gonna be with family this weekend too. We'll see. What we may do it the next weekend then, and then we can still do this Wednesday is my actual birthday. We can still do a little taste of it this Wednesday. Let me know what y'all want to do. But I know Wednesday y'all be tired. Okay, okay. This one, look, it at least gave me some strings because it's like, why is it just hanging up in the air like this? Why? So that's pretty cool too. All right. But like I said, it looks like it's taking some of my products away. It didn't do my short and my tall bottle. It's kind of interpreting things how it wants. But I am letting you know that it will give you these little shadows and give you a different way of presenting it. All right, so let's get back to our design here. I did want to give you that insight, but we have some pretty dope mock-ups anyway. It's just that it doesn't have the shadows. Now, if you wanted to do a perspective here, let's do a duplicate. And I'm just going to duplicate the layer because I want the smart object to stay the same. But I'm going to change the perspective of this. Remember I told you I liked how it did the perspective? I'm not even going to call it perspective. I'm just going to distort it. And I'm not going to distort it too much because the legs aren't actually where it would look exact if I were rotating it. But just that little rotation right there gave me just a little more visual interest. And then, like I said, I want my arrow to be on top of this. I'll take my rectangle, my arrow, boom, put it up there. All right, so is that looking something like the design that we had? We still need some icons here. Bring on that above. So we need like upload your graduate info. How about this? I'm gonna open this graphic up. And I'm gonna do this. I've never done this before. Why not? I'm gonna take this image here, just do Control J. Go back to here, Control J is just making like a copy of it. And if I like these icons as is, let me show you what I would do with it. I mean, this is a from scratch class, right? And I have to make sure that I have the background layer selected when I do Control J, otherwise it's not gonna pick anything up. Boom. This one, Control J. Now that's all the icons I need, and AI already helped me come up with the idea of the icons. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this upload. I'll call this photo. These are icons. I'll call this ID, basically it's ID information. I'll call this logo. And let's call this colors. So basically I need these icons. I'm gonna take each of these and I'm gonna center them all. Make it a bit bigger because it is tiny on this graphic. Boom, boom. And take each of those. Quick export as PNG. And it's gonna do each of them. I need to do a PSD-345. And then this will be, I usually have some miscellaneous stuff. I'm just gonna put draft icons. Boom. Put them in there. Then I'm gonna go over to AI. I'm gonna say create an icon sheet for these. And let's do, I'm gonna say vector, even though it's not gonna make it vector. Vector, black image on a clean white background. Let's get rid of that. Take my little images here. And let's go view large icons. And these are heavily pixelated too. So these are crazy bad pixelated. Now I can go find icons, but the problem is I like to make my own icons when I'm doing something creative like this because I hate to see one icon from another style, a different icon from a different, it irks me, it bothers me. So I'm gonna make them right now, vector black image on a clean white background. Let that one finish uploading there. Control J is new to you? All right, Lisa. All right, Sabrina, I have a good deal. Join with me on April Fool's Day. And I promise the only person that's gonna be a fool is me. I'm the April Fool, okay? Because I'll be giving y'all some crazy discounts, okay? So join me on Wednesday. And that's what we're gonna do. Instead of having our traditional Wednesday class, we're gonna basically have fun together. We'll still be creating. Matter of fact, I think this will be the excellent opportunity. Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we are going to do Wednesday. I will probably start class a little early. We'll go live. And I'm going to say we'll do at least 4 hours together instead of our 1 hour Photoshop class. How about that? But what I'm going to expect is I'm going to give you all some resources and I'm going to expect you to design live with me. any template, and everybody has to pick a different template. So if somebody already chose 125, boom, 125 is off the list. Oh, we're gonna have fun. That's gonna be so much fun, y'all. And then if you're brand new, don't worry, because this will be an opportunity for you to see how folks design. And then we'll still have, I'll still show you all a very simple template on Wednesday that we can all flip together. But then after that, oh, we're gonna have a good time, okay? We might do it before and after. So we'll keep our regular 8 o'clock time slot. Can y'all meet earlier on Wednesday? Can y'all meet at like 6 o'clock on Wednesday? We do maybe like 6 to 10. So we have like a 4-hour slot together. So what? I'm there. I know you're there. 6 is good. Let's do 6 to 10. And we'll spend 4 hours together on my birthday. Live. All right. Okay, so now let me see if it's going to generate me a icon sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want it black and white. Now, I'm going to change the style so it's saying black vector, black image, and a clean white background. I want to make the icons 3D style, and then isolate it on a clean white background. Now I'm gonna show you how you can level it up, okay? Look, we can be basic or we can get a little extra. Some of y'all are extra like me, but I will tell you this. I have started to tone back a little of my extraness and use my extraness now as like a pop or a wow factor. Because I realized like when you start putting typography and advertisement and text on top of these really ornate designs, it does look better. And I'm going to show you here. It looks better when you have just clean white text and we have all of this gradient text. That gradient text is so hard to see against this background, but that white clean text with a little drop shadow is so easy to see. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this, y'all. I got a vector set. Icons. Don't play with it, get paid with it. Do you hear me? Do you? Do you? Do you? We got an icon set, y'all. All right, let me download it. And then if we can rerun it again if you don't like the, but here's the thing. You see how this cloud had like an outline here? Let me download this. This cloud had an outline. These are more filled in. It said, your cloud would look better filled in. It would look more like the rest of these if you did this instead. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Just created me an icon set. And here's a little 3D for a little kicker. Okay, now I could tell it not to add the drop shadows or whatever, but I'm going to leave the drop shadows on there because I feel like it helps it to understand it is 3D. But then when I cut them out, I can add my own drop shadows later. But now I got a 3D version of it too, with the gradients in there. Boom, dilly boom. That's it. That's it, y'all. All right, so I'll download that as well. Now we cooking with hot grease or what? Anybody else showing y'all how to do all of this stuff? Tell me, tell me. All right, and so I'm done with that. I'm gonna close out of this without saving because all I did was I just wanted to extract those little PNGs. That's it. Now I'm just focusing on this area where I have the icons. Now, of course, these are not vectors. If you want to go vector it, I have several classes where I've shown you how to vectorize.io or vectorize.ai, one of those. And you can vectorize your images. But what I want to do is, do I want my 3D? This is what I'll do. I'll create a smart object so I can show y'all live how to make a smart object. Why not? Rectangle tool. Let's make the smart object. I'm going to hold down shift so it makes it a square. Let's make it as big as this icon. What I'm going to do is just call this icon 1 here. And then I'm going to convert it to a smart object. Then I'm going to, instead of duplicating it, because it'll be the same smart object, I'm gonna do a new smart object via copy. I'm gonna change that to icon too. Boom. New smart object via copy. Icon 3. That way you'll have the vector and you'll have the 3D one. Come on with it. That's how I make my templates, y'all. I'm showing you how to make them from scratch. Let's new smart object via copy, because y'all know I don't talk and do stuff at the same time. I'm not a multitasker. Most of us are not. We just lie and say we are. Let's do new smart object via copy. Y'all, this template is almost done, believe it or not. All right. So for icon 1, double click. And what I really need to do is go ahead and grab these icons out of here. Same thing I just showed you. Control J, so I'm gonna select this. I'm over here choking. Just talking and choking, that's all. Control J. Control J. Now, like I said, once you learn something, it's repetition that helps you really lock it in. That's why usually when we do a template class, I'm still teaching you, because I'm having you do a step over and over again until you get it. Now, I'm not going to read label these because I don't feel like it. So what we're going to do, again, I'm going to take all of those, center them in the middle there, make it larger, because I want it to be pretty much as large as this. But the reason why I'm moving them all together is because I want them to keep the same size. Right here, quick export as PNG. Oh, can't quick export them as PNG because they're not PNGs right now. So for this one, remove that background. All right, now let's say if it removed the V from the inside here, I could add it back, but it didn't, so that's perfect. Now this one. Where did my contextual taskbar go? Interesting. Oh, it's over here on the right-hand side. At least I see some quick actions. I'm gonna do remove background here, see if it takes out my circles here. See how it took out the circles inside of there? I want it to do that. All right, so let's remove the background here. I don't want it to take out the information inside of the ID, and it did. So let's recover that. Boom, 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 boom. I'm using my polygon lasso tool to grab that stuff back. Now delete makes it all black. Control Z. If I change or invert my color here, instead of white being the foreground, if I make black my foreground and hit delete, it adds the white there. Let me know if y'all knew that. All right. Now this one I will save as let's save it as a TIFF there. It doesn't matter. We save it TIFF, PNG, whatever. I'm just going to save this as my flat vector icons. That way I do have the layer saved if I ever need to go back and let's say clean up one of the icons. And I can vector these, y'all, but it doesn't matter for this little graphic that we're doing for this web design, okay? Sometimes you focus on doing things more high level, and sometimes it's not that important, it's not that deep. Let's go ahead and remove the background here. And again, it may remove the inside of the camera there. And actually this one I think will be cool to have the inside of the camera removed. And if not, I can always go back and change that. All right. Cloud here. Remove the background. All right, so now I have these. I'm going to select the top one, hold down Shift, select the bottom one so I get all of them. Right click, quick export as PNG. And I want these into my draft icons folder because they will be PNGs now. Close out of that. I can say yes to save the TIFF file. That way it saves all of those layers. And then I would do the same process here. Control J. Cut off that shadow a little bit. I don't want to do that. Control J. Control J. Are we learning something, y'all? Is this good? Control J. Now, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and remove the backgrounds while I'm going. Boom. Definitely learning? Okay. All right, remove the background there. Should keep my inside part there. Yep, it did. Excellent. How many of y'all gonna create some little 3D icons now that we done seen this little hack right here? Now this one didn't clean up my background very well. So I'm going to delete the layer mask there. Try that one more time. Nope, it didn't. Now here's a little confused on what the foreground and background here is. So I'm going to use the object selection tool, see if I get a little bit better selection there. And I did. Now let's do a layer mask. Boom, we in there like swimwear. Now I'll take all of these and let's go ahead and align them center and center. Make them bigger just so that it fits more of this board here. There we have it. I'll take all of these, quick export as PNG. And oh, it's not a draft icon anymore. Let me put it in my final icons. And then I'll make one for the 3D. And then I'll make a folder for the flat. And I'm putting these inside the 3D. Y'all even see like my naming conventions, how I put things in folders. It's not always, doesn't always make the sense, but it does keep me organized. Save as. And this will be my 3D icons. Oh. Okay, so now for icon number 1. Where did I put my flat icons? I think I put them in here. That's what I did. So I'm gonna take these and Control X. Put them in my flat icon folder. Big. Large icon. So the first one was the upload. I'm gonna turn off the background image there. And just open up the flat. Open a new tab. Let's open up 3D in a new tab. So the flat one I already have. Now let's grab the 3D version. Let's do view extra large here. And now I got my cloud. All right, so let's start with just the black and white ones. Yes to save. Let's go ahead and do icon number 2. This is how I'll be making y'all's Templates for real. And close out of this one. All right, now the next one will be graduate photos. That's the one that looks like a camera. So let's grab our camera, drop it like it's hot, take off the background, get the flat one, drop it like it's hot. And we say we're gonna do flat first, Control S, Control W. Now, because I made smart objects first before this was a PNG, I can save multiple layers inside of that smart object file. You see the difference between, if I open this up, see how it doesn't say PNG, it says PSD. That means it is a smart object or it is a large Photoshop file. So I just showed you how to make your own smart objects. Next is name and graduation year. So I'll do that as image number 2. That's the one that looks like an ID. All right, Control S to save, Control W to close out. Icon number 4 is what we're working on now. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the logo. 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 Control S to save, Control W to close out of the window. Last one is the colors. So let's drag and drop that. Control S, Control W. And now that I have my smart objects, I'm just going to move them into place. So I'm going to take off auto select because I have too many things sitting on top of one another. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep these all together. And I'm just going to say these are my icons. And just like I have smart objects, smart colors, that sort of thing, I want to keep these icons as is because I want them all to be the same size and to be centered here. I'm going to create a duplicate of that group. And I'm going to put do not resize or move. So these, I'm going to turn the eyeballs off. That's just going to be what we double click on to change. These will be the ones that we start moving around. So I want to change the size of all of them except for the cloud. The cloud is going to stay large. The rest of them will get small. Boom. Dilly All right, so let's take icon here. When I click and drag, I'm going to hold down shift. You see when I hold down shift, it keeps it vertically aligned. Boom. Then I need the ID. Watch this, I can move it anywhere, but when I hold down shift, it keeps it horizontally aligned when I move it left to right. And then for the school colors, I'm gonna alt, nope, not alt. That makes a copy of it. I'm gonna shift, pull it down here to where it's centered with the school logo. So here and here, I'm going to center these two. Then I'll move my color over to the right by holding down shift. See how it aligns with the one above there? Boom. Let me say this, y'all, I'm tripping. I have not saved 345 since I opened it up and started working on it. Am I tripping? All right, so boom, 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 boom. And let me show you how to make a smart color. Now, to make a smart color, let's go ahead and use the rectangle tool. And let's just make a square that's going to cover that. And right now, we know what our smart color is because in our hold PNG folder, take that out. We have color number 1, color number 2. Now, I'm going to show you how to make your own smart color from scratch, but you know, if we were using an Automizer, then we pretty much just change out those color 1, color 2s. I'm going to bring them on the artboard just so I know what the colors are. I'm going to make them small just so we can pick from the colors from here. But like I said, I'm going to show you how to make a smart color from scratch. Why not? I'm showing y'all all my other secrets. You know, no holding back. I'm an April Fool. All right, so this one here, I'm going to change the color. I go into fill. Actually, I just double click on it and it automatically turns into a color picker as long as I hover over something on the artboard. So that's going to be my color 1. I'm going to relabel this as color 1. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate it. It's not a smart object yet, so when I duplicate it, it's not going to cause a problem. Now I'll name this one color 2, double click on it, choose the gray. All right, so right now I have color 1, color 2. They are not smart colors yet. I can delete my references to the colors there because I don't need those. To turn this into a smart color, right click, convert to a smart object. Color 1 is now a smart object. Convert to smart object. Color 2 is now a smart object. Now what I can do is I can take these two and I can recolor my cloud there. Boom, put it on top of the cloud. And take these two, create a clipping mask. Okay, so if I want to be red, if I want to be gray, if I want it to be red and gray, then I could do, let's do a gradient. Here, I'll just make it simple. I'll do a paintbrush, do a layer mask. Make my paintbrush larger here. I'm just gonna paint it half and half. Now I can take these here and I can alt click and drag it, create a clipping mask so that it goes on top of the paint here. Make it smaller because my icon's smaller. You see how I just use that little recoloring as a smart color. Create a clipping mask. I gotta move that here. Now I do have to change the blend mode here because normal is coloring everything, including the V on the inside. So I have to make sure that I choose a blend mode. And here, in order to get the best blend mode, I think what I'm going to do is choose color. Then I'm going to choose a levels. I got black and white on here. Let's see. Try screen. Let me turn off my levels because levels isn't changing my black like I wanted to. Let's do solid color. Let's do a gray that'll be 50% brightness. And that's kind of what I need more of. The linear dodge. Like I said, this is what I do for you all when I'm creating templates. So you're just seeing quite naturally my process here. And then I would do a levels on top of that. If I wanted to intensify those colors. Okay. So now I get the inside of the V that's white here. All right. Oh, we have the original images in the background. I was like, where's this little ghosting coming from? Duh, Deidre. You gotta. So now if I take all of these, I would rather have those because it has the levels in them just in case I need it. I don't need it for this paint palette, but once I figure out the hack, that's what I use. All right, so let's go for the ID. Create a clipping mask. Move it up into this ID section. Is this helping y'all? Yeah, I mean, if you did an auto save, it will save every 5 minutes. But my problem is I do a lot of work in 5 minutes, so I'd be real mad, real mad if it doesn't have my absolute latest change. So really and truly, we should always be doing the save dance. Control S, do the save dance. All right, so boom, boom, boom. That looks good. We create a little text box. Where it says we create everything. Alt, click and drag. We design. And if I want this to be all capital, instead of typing in all caps, I can hit this little tall T button, and it makes it all caps. Just wanted something a little bit different. I feel like all this text is very similar. And I'm going to control this box because I don't want it to be that wide. Here we go. Lock that in. Oops. Come on, buddy. Don't freeze on me now. I'm live. Okay. Then I can resize it. I'm going to make this text just plain white. Here we go. All right, let's turn off our sample image for a moment. So we see what we're working with. We're getting there, we're getting there. Now from our output from the Automizer, I'm gonna grab the background here. I'm gonna drop it on top of my triangle, create a clip and mask. And that should look pretty familiar. I think that's how the original design was kind of going. And then I can do a gradient here. Solid color to transparent. All right, and what is it doing right now? We're in this corner. What I would rather do a home gradient here. And I'm doing that because I want the darkness to be here, and then I can provide a little less opacity. Because I didn't like how that white was on top of that white. It was very hard to read. All right, so that does that for me. And then we would have to type the text here as well. Which I'm going to take the small text here. I'll click and drag. Upload your graduate info. I'm going to make the text box smaller. Or am I? Click my move tool. Resize it. Get it into place. Oh, I don't want to move my guideline. I want to move my text here. All right, and this is just a suggestion. I don't have to make this exact, but if I'm going to make a template, this is how I make it. And this one is supposed to say graduate photo. Boom. And then if I want this centered, I go up here to paragraph, put that center paragraph, boom. And really, I should put this one center paragraph as well. Graduate photo. Let's go ahead and Control plus zoom in a little bit. I need to make this a little bit larger. Now, graduate photo should be centered right underneath that camera icon, but right now I'm just going to loosely put them. And I'm just holding down Alt while I'm clicking and dragging. This one is going to say school. Next line, I hit enter, logo. This one is going to say school. Next line, colors. This one, name. And do you see how AI did all of this for us? So isn't that phenomenal? Do you see how long it's taken me to do this? Even with basically, I'm making a template from a already done design. Imagine if I had to think of this from scratch. That's why I'm telling y'all, when I tell y'all all of my hacks, there is no holding back in this academy. I'm telling y'all how I do everything that I do. How I make every little dollar that I make. All right, so that looks about right now. And I'm just going to group this off right now, just call it text. And then I will clean this up and make a demo video because it usually takes me about 4 hours to make a template or more, depending on how complex it is, because I don't just design. What I do is I make it reusable. That means I have to put thought into engineering the file. All right, so boom, I have to change it. Of course, I make it to where it is editable. Let's say I want to go back and change these icons now to the 3D ones. Technically, I should just be able to turn on my 3D ones, Control S, Control W now, boom. And then what I'm going to do is turn off for the icons. I'm going to turn off the smart colors so that I can see my 3D icons because they're already colored. However, you could smart color your 3D icons too. Might as well. Well, it's already set up to recolor. We just may have to change the blend mode. Okay. Boom, there's my 3D. All right, so let's put in the 3D icons. Y'all can tell me which one y'all like better. I'm just doing Control S and then Control W to get out of, to save, and then to close out of the window. And like I said, once you start doing this, you start clicking real fast. You become an automizer. You are the automizer. Just like I am AI, you are AI, you are the automizer. You're the person that's thinking of how simple you can make this so that you can make money with this process again and again and again. All right, so let's say this background here I want to use again. Speaking of again, let's take and put it on top of this white right now. It is absolutely doing too much, but let's see if it's possible to use it. I'm going to grab a gradient here. And just tell it that I want my color here to be white. Gradient, I want my stop here, my color to be white. Color here. Okay, okay. And then I can make this opacity lighter if I wanted to have a little bit of color other than just the white itself. So I'll call this my background. regular white or a little splash or something. All right. Okay, so I'm going to tweak this a little bit more. I'm not exactly happy with this, but did we get like a full understanding of you can design from scratch and use AI as an idea generator for a template? So the reason why this is a template is because let's say I wanted to do my green grad. I could go and I could even select auto select here. I can click on one of these and I can go ahead, double click on that smart object, drag and drop my green grad image there now. And all of these, I can do that for, it would turn into my green grad. Okay. The background, I will go to my green grad background. This is what I said, what I'll do, because it's late right now and I need to go ahead and wrap up. I'm going to save what I'm working on here. And then I will create a finalized version of this template, show you a flip of it, and then you will have the 5-minute flip version of this. And I will do that. If I don't do it tonight, if it's too late for me to do it tonight, just depending on how my brain cells work, then I'll upload it tomorrow, okay? Because I'm running out of time. I'm supposed to do a 1-hour class and darn it, it's a 2-hour class. But when I'm designing from scratch, it's just how it goes. If you would like for me to just record that part of it, if you want to see it anyway, I don't even mind recording that and showing you the rest of the process of me cleaning up the template. Because usually what I'm going to do some smart colors over this text. For that little arrow that's there, I'm going to do a smart color because every time I have something, I want to make it so that if you do one double click and change, it changes that color red to green. If we're doing the green grad, it changes the color gray to the orange if we're doing the green grad. You understand what I'm saying? So I will further make this into a smart template. I made a template, it's done. I'll make it into a smart template. And like even these products here, they're too close to my edge. So see how that's so close to the edge? I'm gonna scoot those over a little bit so I don't lose that. May make my background, my backdrop just a little bit smaller, so I don't lose the image of my arrow there. And I no, does the backdrop look okay? No, I'm gonna keep my backdrop right here. But this is what I do. I play with my placement, my sizing, my text, my fonts, all of the above. And then I create a template. So I'm gonna save this right now. I mean, some of you are okay with like this as is. Like Shannon, this is a template right now. You ain't got to do nothing extra. However, y'all know I'm going above and beyond it. This is why I say I spend about four hours on a template, because by the time I clean this up and make it to where it's a smart template where it only takes you 5 minutes or less to swap out everything, then you understand why I do what I do on the back end. All right. Okay, so for tonight then, I'm going to go ahead and call this done for tonight. Let me do the save dance. And if there's anything else that you all want to learn, the whole reason for me doing projects is because I'm showing you, I have to design a graduate page, okay? Because I got to show y'all, we can't keep missing out on this graduate money. So I'm going to have my niece and nephew learn how to design the products, update the Shopify store, sell products. I'm not going to touch the store. I'm not going to touch the products. I don't want to. I do a purely digital design now and I teach. That is what I've always wanted to do. That's where I am. Now, if I need to teach you all how to make something or teach them how to make something, then that's when I get into that maker's mode, okay? So just be aware that this is real time, what I'm doing for real projects. This is what I do for real businesses, not just for me, not just for some pie in the sky idea that I done borrowed or stole from somebody else. I literally do this for a living, okay? And I want you all to know that you can do it for a living as well. All right, for this one, let me add a little drop shadow. Make it pop off. Yeah. Bring that distance in a little bit there. Make that opacity a little bit darker. Yeah. All right, so like I said, y'all, I'll be here tweaking all night. Not tweaking, but tweaking the design all night. I'm not tweaking, I'll be tweaking the design. That's what I do. That's why it takes me at least, when I say at least 4 hours, that is the minimum that it takes me to create a template. Now, design I can have done in less time, but a template, I organize it, I make it reusable. I don't even design anymore. I only make templates. Every time I touch something is if I'm going to use it again, or if I'm going to sell it again and again. Okay, so I just brought you onto my world tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and close out tonight's class. If y'all have some questions, let me know. Put a mention on the Facebook business page, something that you want to learn, something that you did learn, something that you tried and you impressed yourself with, and you're happy that we even talked about. Let me know that this is helping y'all, because what happens, y'all, when we get dead and we don't see any interaction on that homework, and I don't see any interaction on the page, me, myself, I feel like I'm not helpful to you. I feel like I'm not doing my job, which my job is to serve you. My job is not just to take your monthly income and make it my monthly income. Some people, that's their primary purpose, is to just make money. Mine is to get results, okay? And I make money in the process, all right? So I want to see your results. I want to see what you all get out of it. I want to know that this is helping you, and I want to know how it's helping you, because it helps me help you more, okay? Yes, Sabrina, wait for Wednesday, because I'm gonna have a really, really good deal. Some amazing deals, not just good deals, amazing deals on my amazing April Fool's birthday. So give me till Wednesday, Sabrina, and I'll have something cooked up for you where you can join the academy and you will not regret it. Okay. All right, my love. So for tonight, that's gonna be all, folks. I'm going to still work on this a little bit further, but I want to give myself a little break, and then I'm gonna go check on Granny and everything. Okay. All right. I love y'all, and I appreciate you dearly. And until next time, bye. Good night, y'all.